Hi everyone, I'm Emma, a certified dog trainer.
And I'm Kirsten, a certified dog behavior consultant.
And this is Dog Chats. Join us as we chat about dog behavior, having fun with your dogs, and building relationships. We will offer practical advice and a bit of humor. Hi there, welcome to our first podcast. We're so excited to be here and chatting about dogs, our favorite thing to do.
Yeah, we're both trainers and dog consultants, and I specialize in reactive and aggressive behaviors.
And I love working with puppies all day, every day.
We both love helping people. You know, every once in a while I think, gosh, I need an idea. So I call Emma and she just showers me with this brilliant rainstorm of advice. And sometimes she calls me and I.
Absolutely. We work off each other and our strengths, and we both love to do different things. So it's really a nice combination.
Yeah, we're good problem solvers as a team, I think. So,
yeah.
So Emma thought, why don't we get a podcast on the road?
Actually, I don't think it was Emma thought. I think your partner, Ron,
that probably is. That makes sense. So we're hoping that you get a little nugget of something, or at least some humor.
Yeah.
A laugh or two.
And we just figured we'd get together and do different episodes, just chatting about dogs and different things in a fun and just casual way. So we are going to be talking about behavior and some fun activities to do with your dogs. And in the next couple of podcasts, we're going to kind of have our theme to be summer and what you'll be doing with your dogs.
Yeah, adventure, travel.
Yeah, camping.
Enrichment, yes.
That word itself makes you anxious. But let's start by just saying a little bit about ourselves. So you grew up in the Midwest, right?
I did. At a different time in the 70s when dogs were free.
Yes.
You know, it was a really different world. And I was telling Emma the story earlier that we had a little dog when I was growing up and he bit. And my mom would say to the kids when they came in the door, don't touch the dog. And if they touched the dog and Max bit them, my mom would say, I told you not to touch the dog.
You know? I know. And we had something similar. I grew up in Ireland and we had a little Maltese terrier. It was actually my brother's that he got for his birthday. And he just ruled the house. People would come into the house. He would hump them if he wasn't snarling at them. If he got up on your bed and you moved slightly, he'd attack the blankets. My grandmother who lived with us, if he was on her chair and she moved him, he'd do the same thing, growl at her. But we loved him.
Yeah.
We just coexisted with him that way.
Yeah.
It's funny how things have changed just with dogs being in our homes and our expectations of what they're going to be like.
Yeah. Well, with COVID and all the life changes in the last few years, I think the culture of dogs in our country and all over the world has really changed.
Like when I was growing up too, there was a lot of dogs that were just roaming around, you know, and some of them had street smarts. That's what I'd like to think is they kind of knew where they were going and they were on a mission and they were just out for the day and hopefully they didn't get themselves hurt.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, we did see like strays that were just totally having a hard time, neglected and just lost.
Yeah.
So we always saw those when we were younger. Here where we live in Marin County, it's very rare you see a dog off, like rambling on their own. And there's already like 10 people that are stopping their cars to find out if the dog is okay and help it. And there's probably somebody on some social media saying I've lost my dog.
Yeah.
You know, so that has changed definitely where we're living.
Emma, how did you get started in dog training?
Well, I always loved dogs growing up, but as an adult, my husband and I adopted a dog from a shelter. He was 4 months old. He'd already been returned. So he was a little bit of a challenging puppy, and I wasn't really sure at the time how I could help him. So I reached out to the shelter close to us here and asked them for help. And as I was learning about all the ways I could help him, I was like, this is really interesting. So I decided to volunteer at the shelter and walk the dogs there. And then I attended Trish King's Canine Behavior Academy, and then I started training both at the shelter and my private business. And now I have my private business that I work mainly with puppies. How did you get started?
Similarly, a challenging dog. I was 16 and I picked out, sadly from Puppy Mill, a border collie. I knew nothing about border collies. She was under-enriched, under-exercised, and frustrated. And one day on the stairs, she wouldn't let me go up the stairs. She cornered me and made me walk down the stairs. She was snapping at me. And I just backed down the stairs and let her go out the door. Because in the old days, we just did that. Mm-hmm. Dogs ran free. And my mom said we had to get rid of her. So I went to the library and got a lot of books because there were no trainers in the area. And I started training her. And I never completely solved her behavior problems, but at least we came to some agreement. And happy ending, we were able to keep the dog, manage the dog's behavior. And I learned a great deal about dog-guardian relationships that I now use in my own career. Later, I decided this was going to be my life calling when I was dropping my own dogs off at a board and train facility. The manager and owner said, "Hey, do you want to work here?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'd never thought about it. And she said, "Yeah, because you get out of the car and you walk in here and all 55 dogs are quiet." So she said, "You're hired if they like you." So I trained with her. She was a guide dog for the blinds trainer. A wonderful, amazing person and trainer, but different style than the training I do now, more old school.
So more old school, yeah. And I don't even think, like, when I was growing up, I think there was parts of it that were old school that I didn't even really think about, like with the dog when I was teaching the Maltese house training. Like, I remember there being paper, and I remember having his head go down into to smell the pee and then bring him outside. So there was that stuff, but back then that's the way everybody did it, and we know so much better now that there's so much better ways to do things and have the dog involved in the learning. I mean, like, yes, he was learning the way I was doing it, but not in a very kind way.
Yeah, and I notice when I talk to clients and they reminisce about their childhood, the people feel better too. We were doing a lot of what society was telling us to do to train dogs, which was based off of military training from the 50s. And it didn't feel natural for a lot of people. And so many of my older clients are relieved now with the positive methods that are available.
Yeah, and we haven't mentioned that yet, but we both are positive reinforcement trainers.
Absolutely.
Right? We really believe in that. My favorite thing about it is having dogs think about what you want them to do and see those wheels turning, and then just giving them praise and seeing that happiness.
Yeah, instead of being a nag. Yeah, I know we both focus a lot on that relationship, the dog-guardian relationship. And in supporting that, so much of dog training isn't really sit down, stay. It's looking at that relationship and saying, how can we make things better? So let's talk about our own dogs a little bit.
Oh, dear.
Tell me, what's something weird that Kiva does?
Kiva, probably, the weirdest thing she does is when I go to pet her, and by the way, Kiva is my dog. She is... her mom was a Rottweiler and her dad was some sort of husky mix. So she's super sweet. Love her dearly. When she's cuddling up with you and you're petting her, and if you stop petting her, she actually talks to you and actually looks like she's growling at you, but she just wants to be petted more. So I think that's it's kind of an odd behavior, because if I was to come into somebody's home and look at that, I would be like, "Ooh, your dog looks like they're going to bite you." But really knowing her, and that's really important about knowing the dog in front of you, is that I know she just wants more petting, and she's just like being a little bit demanding.
Yeah, you guys are communicating. I love that.
Yeah. How about you? What's the weirdest thing one of your dogs has done?
So Dakota, she's Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. She does this way when she wants to connect to us, that she, mostly to me, but she'll come up and put her forehead on my forehead and then take her paw and pry open my mouth, because she wants to put her nose in my mouth to smell my mouth. And I know, she's figuring out what I ate and how I'm feeling and all that important information, but the first few times, and she started that at like 6 weeks old. Just the littlest forehead on my forehead, mind melding.
And that's like appeasing too, right? Is she licking inside your mouth, or she just
smelling?
Sniffs?
Just getting information.
She's like, what did you just eat? I want to smell
Exactly.
that. That's great. I did have a previous dog that used to take our underwear and bring it to the backyard.
Yeah.
So that I always thought was funny.
Just underwear?
Well, I mean, like he brought a lot of things to the backyard, but you know, the things that you might be embarrassed that if somebody came over might find in your backyard. So he used to bring underwear and my bra. I found out there. I don't know whether this is appropriate for a podcast, but that was out in the grass at one stage too. Yeah. So it is kind of funny what our dogs are, their weird little behaviors.
Yeah,
we have weird behaviors too.
We have weird behaviors, absolutely.
Yeah. And we do, it's true, we love them. I mean, like, the bond of having a dog in the house is just, it keeps us relaxed and calm.
Yeah.
You know, there can be days that we're just like, oh, I don't want to go for a walk, but just getting out and doing something with our dog can always make us feel better.
Yeah, every morning, Charlie, my poodle mix, wakes me up by just staring at me. and sometimes, like, so close that the whiskers are touching my cheek, but he doesn't bark or anything. And I open my eyes and I say, what a wonderful way to wake up.
Oh, I know. It's so great. Except when they're like a bigger dog and they're on your bed and they're not parallel. So they're like, and you have this, a tiny bit of the bed and you barely have any covers.
Yeah.
That can be a little bit of like.
You can tell Emma and I have some really strict rules with our dogs.
Yeah, do we though?
No.
We don't, right? Yeah, my dog's up on the couch, up on the bed, you know.
The beautiful thing is we get to decide what behaviors are appropriate and what aren't. Right?
Yeah.
And if our dogs are doing something that we need to change, we've got all these systems in place to make behavior change happen in a positive way.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to change my behavior. Because I've got to see things from a different perspective.
And it's interesting too, you know, like we do all the training, like the sits, the downs, the walking on leash, might be a leave it, a wait. But then we just use the things that are functional to us. I don't ask for sitting down every moment of the day. A lot of the things that I train foundation training with Kiva, I look for those things that are important to me, and that's the way we go into actually a home too to teach a family dog.
Right.
Is what do you need?
Exactly.
And then customize it for that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't mind if Kiva barks at the window if somebody's passing, because I kind of want them not to come up to the door all the time. So that's something I kind of go, that's fine. But then I may have a client that goes, ooh, this barking is really driving me crazy. Yeah. So for them, it looks different. It might be a different picture than for me or another client.
Yeah, and also asking ourselves, what can we change about the environment? You know, it doesn't have to always be fix the dog.
Yes.
Sometimes it's change the house or change the yard.
Change the house.
Buy a new house. Move out to the country, get a ranch. But, you know, I mean, like, it's more, I do family dog mediation. It's looking at all sides and are we meeting the human's needs and the dog's needs?
And the dog's needs.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning in today and hope you'll join us for our next episode. You can reach Emma at
ecdogtraining.com or on Instagram at ecdog_training, and Kirsten at
kwhappydogs.com or on Facebook at kwhappydogs. Don't forget to hit subscribe. See you next time.